Yeah.
All right, we are live. All right, try to get this set up. Give me 1 second, folks. Got a makeshift tripod here trying to hold the camera, so give me 1 second and we will get rolling. Hello there. Give me 1 second. 1 second, and we'll be with you. Hey, Joseph. All right, I think I got to get this back just a little bit more. All righty. I think I got it. Hopefully it stays. Hopefully it doesn't fall. All right. Let's see here. Welcome. Appreciate everybody stopping in. We're going to be discussing Justin's deer hunt and kind of a funny story, so I hope y'all enjoy it. All righty. Let's see here. Had to bring the laptop so I can read the chat. First time ever in front of the camera and first time live. You've got all three of us. Got me, David, of course, who you see most of the time. In the middle is Cody, trapped with me, my trapping partner, cameraman, and then Justin to the left of him, trapped with us a year ago, then opted out this year because he had to work. So, but he did get a nice deer, which is what we're going to discuss today. Give me one more second, and we should be ready to roll. Doggone it. Hope everybody's having a good day. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to turn the volume down on that sucker. Let you hold your deer real quick. Hold him up there. It's not right. All right. First of all, can you hear me all right? Hey, Joy. Brady T, hello. Jacinta's Outdoors. How we doing? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Trying not to. Perfect. Thank you. That was one worry. Like I said, we're going to be discussing Justin's deer. Biggest deer he's got so far. Second archery deer. He got it with a crossbow this past November. Before we get started, hey Chancellor TV. Before we get started, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and for everybody returning, thank you so much for your support. I greatly appreciate it. You have no idea. It means the world to me, so thank you very, very much. Hey, outdoorsman. Alrighty. Justin, like I said, got this deer last November. I want to say it was Sunday, November 5th, with a crossbow. Year before that, he got his first deer with the bow, and it was a little 4-prong. Still ate the same, so it doesn't matter. It's still good. Thank you, Joy. I appreciate it. Yeah, please hit that thumbs up. PA Hunting and Trapping, how are you? But so it's Sunday, November 5th, and me and Cody wasn't hunting. The rut was just getting ready to kick off because coon trapping usually comes in here in Indiana in November 8th. And usually when we're out setting coon traps, the rut's already on. So, and shotgun season or firearm season usually doesn't come in until 15th, 17th, somewhere in there. So, doing good, PA. Thank you. I don't know how wide the rack is. Hey, Backwoods.
Yeah,
We never did get a score. That's something we'll probably do in the future, but that's something we haven't got it scored. But so the rut was getting ready to kick off. Me and Cody wasn't hunting. It was Sunday, and I want to say November 5th. At least that's what the picture says. And I know I posted some videos, had the picture when he killed it, and of course when he got it back from taxidermist. But he called me, and well, he called Cody. Hey, Shauna. John Clough, how are you? Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. But so like I said, it's Sunday, November 5th. Me and Cody was watching football. It was like, what time do you go out?
probably around 4 is when I got in the stand.
Can you hear him? He's talking kind of low.
Probably around 4 is when I got in the stand.
There we go.
Yeah.
So he called Cody, and I don't know if we was watching the Patriots or who we was watching. We was watching a football game, and okay, who was that? And he goes, the morons going hunting. That's Justin's nickname. Hey, Chris, how are you? You need to speak up, Chris says.
No.
So, thank you, Joy. So when you talk, you need to speak up so I can hear you. So anyways, he called Cody. Cody said the morons going hunting, and first thing Cody said, he says it was spur of the moment. He probably doesn't even have any camo on. He's probably smoking a cigarette at the deer stand. So we didn't think no more of it. I can't remember if it was cold that day. I don't know weather-wise what it was, but Justin, take it away. You get to the stand and speak up so everyone can hear you. Share your hunt, and I'll intervene as needed.
Well, these guys have been giving me crap on how to hunt and scents and scent away and all this. I usually don't use it. I usually come back with a deer every year. Not every year, but close to it. Well, but I get in the stand about 4 o'clock. About 20 minutes later, I see another deer out in the field. I'm out in the woods, and there's a pond right in front of me, a cornfield behind me, and a hay field to my right. So I look to my right, and there's a deer out in the middle of the field. So I picked up the Primo's grunt call, and I hit it a few times, trying to see if this deer will come towards me. And I look to my left, and this guy comes running right out of the weeds, 20 yards in front of me, stops right in front of my stand, starts sniffing the ground, looking like he wants to fight. That's pretty much what he's wanting to do. So I aimed at him, I hit him. I'm freaking out at this moment. I didn't know if I hit him or not. He takes off running towards the hayfield, and he's kind of late, beds down, and just walks casually off behind me into the cornfield. So I didn't know if I hit him or not. About 10 minutes goes by, and I get down from the stand, and I find my arrow. It's broken half. I thought it went straight through him, but we later on found out that it broke in half when Cody was getting it.
All right, so you got down from the tree. Real quick, John Clark wants to know what broadhead's on your. It's just a fixed broadhead?
Yeah, they're fixed. Rural King had a deal for a 4-pack of Muzzy arrows and Muzzy broadheads for like $12 on the off season. I bought the crossbow from Rural King, so I just figured I'd go and buy them. And as you can tell, they worked out. I get down from the stand. I run up to the house. It's about 100 yards away. Get a cigarette in because I'm freaking out.
Hang on. You made a phone call before you left the stand area.
No, I had to go get my phone from the truck.
Well, anyways, I get a phone call, and he's on the other line. I don't know what time it was. What, a half hour after you've been up?
Yeah.
El Gwen, hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining the stream. Anyways, I get a phone call. Like I said, me and Cody's home watching football. I get a phone call, and it's like, you can just hear in his voice, dude, I just shot a monster. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, you know. I look at Cody, I go, moron said he shot a monster. And Cody's like, yeah, right. But back to when he was grunting, when he said that he grunted it in, I told Cody he was probably on that grunt call like it was a trumpet. So
No, I only hit it a few times. A few times.
thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. So he calls me, says, I just shot a monster. I go, well, let it, give it some time. He said he hit it and went and laid down and got up and started crossing the field. So he went back to his mom's because he's on his mom's property down in Sullivan. And gave it some time. Now, cell phone signal is intermittent down there. So we'll be talking to him 1 minute, no signal the next. So it's like 10, 15 different phone calls. But anyways, he calls me back and you're on the blood trail.
So I get in front of the stand and I see fur, I see the broken arrow. I know I hit him, so I'm not too worried about it there. So I start tracking him through the hayfield, following the blood. He goes out through the cornfield. I knew that so far. And across the cornfield is another small wooded area by a pond.
How far
It
is the cornfield?
It's a football field from my stand to the other wooded area.
So 100 yards or more?
Yeah. So I cross the field, see good blood all the way. I get into the other wooded area, and the blood starts going left. So I go left following it, and I completely lose it.
Now, this is going on while he's on the phone with me. He'll lose signal, he'll call Cody. So like I said, there was 10 to 15. That's a 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So he's on the phone several different times, calling Cody, calling me, and saying he lost blood. And I'll tell him, always, when you're tracking them, stop and mark where you last seen your blood so you don't, you stay in the same area. Well, in the meantime, I had to run to town, so Cody was on the phone back and forth with him. And, me and Cody still had no idea how big this deer was. All we know is what Justin said is that it's a monster. So Cody's on the phone with him while I go to Kroger. And we'll get to where you call Cody. You're in the woods. You're following the blood. It's going left. You're looking left. It's not there.
Yeah. So like you said, I'm looking left. I go down the hill because it goes down into a ravine. So I go down the ravine, try to pick up this blood trail again, and I circle back 3 times to where I found blood blast. And then I said, I'm not going to find it left because I looked 3 times. So I literally turn around to the right, not even thinking to look that way. And he's maybe 10 yards away from me, staring right at me, laying down.
And get this.
And I'm on the phone with Cody at this time. And I said, Cody, I see him. He's looking at me laying there. He's like, do you have your crossbow? I said, no, because I set it down across the field, didn't think I needed it.
Goes and tracks a deer, didn't take his crossbow. So now we picture when he ran back across this field like some orangutan or something running across the field, hurrying up to get that crossbow.
But get this, Cody's telling me, you got a knife on you? Like, I'm going to run up to this deer and try to stab this deer. So I run back across the cornfield to get this crossbow. I didn't have my pull cord or nothing on me. All I had was 2 more arrows. So I racked, and it's a 150-pound crossbow. And I racked this thing again with another arrow, go back across the cornfield. He stands, I start walking toward him because I want to get as close as I can to get a good shot on him. He stands up and looks pretty much into my soul, it felt like. And I hit him again with another arrow, and he takes off again down the ravine and tries climbing this hill, and I'm watching him this whole time, trying to get this the last arrow, trying to put this arrow in it. Maybe I need to shoot him again. And he starts walking up this ravine hill, and he finally falls down, and I finally got him, and that's basically it there.
But the moral of the story is when you're tracking, always have your weapon with you. But now this is a deep ravine, so now the phone calls are coming in. Need help. Need help getting out of the holler. There wasn't no just small hill. It was a deep holler. So wish my husband had kept the head with the antlers. sometimes we just keep the rack. We take the processor. If it's not too big, we'll just cut the rack off and save them. Cody's only got one that we've got mounted that he shot, and the rest of them he kept the racks, and this was the first one Justin's had that he got mounted. But then the work began. So he calls his brother, calls Cody. Yeah, live and learn is exactly right, Chancellor. He calls Cody, he calls Wes, needs help to come down, help get this deer out. So in the meantime, you know, I'm coming back. I get home from the store. Cody tells me the story. Says he's packing a bag. Apparently Wesley was his other brother who you hardly see because haven't seen yet on camera. He works nights, so he usually sleeps days. So, hey, tree trimmer, how are you? So the plan is I'm gonna take Cody down to a gas station, meet him down here up south of Brazil, meet Wesley. Took your husband 4 hours to drag his to four-wheeler. Good grief. I bet he was wore out after that. So taking Cody's got an overnight backpack. Go down and meet Wesley down here. He's gonna ride with Wes down to Sullivan, and Wesley just gonna go straight to work after they help get the deer out. So they get down there. Justin goes back to his mom's, and luckily
they got a four-wheel drive four-wheeler that they just bought maybe 2 weeks before I killed this deer. And like you said, it was down in a deep ravine, and there was no way getting the four-wheeler down in it. So my mom drives me out there, and she is not a deer hunter at all, but she did help a lot. She drove me out there on the four-wheeler, and it had a winch on the front of it, so I climbed down this ravine, and she's up on top where the cornfield kind of meets by the pond, and I dragged the winch down there and put the winch around his head, drag him up, and this probably took maybe 30 minutes just to get him out of the ravine.
Thank you for joining.
And she brought one of them big yellow straps that you haul cars with, so I mean, me and her tried to pick it up and throw it on the back of the floor. It wasn't happening. He was way too heavy. So I tied this yellow strap around his head too and drug him back to the house. And that's when we waited on Cody, because I've never gutted a big deer like this. I've only got a small doe, so I didn't want to mess him up. So I wait for Cody to get there, and that's when he started gutting it for me. And this is, what time did you get there? 8, 9 o'clock?
It was late. It was dark.
It was dark out. We had 3 headlamps, and
We had plenty of light though. We all had lights, and you had the other people shining lights on you.
yeah.
I'll do that outdoors. I'll read your description on your killed my first deer with the bow. I'll do that later on. So Cody gets down there. He had the gut bag, had his knife, had his bag of gloves, and all that good stuff. And because usually when I'm field dressing a deer, usually mine's not one worthy of mounting, so I'll take the saw. It comes in my cleaning kit, and I'll just, I'll go ahead and take care of the chest and spread it all open, and that way I can get it good and clean. Well, when you're doing a mount, you don't want to do that because you want to keep the cape, so you have it for the deer mount. So that made it a little extra harder for Cody to work on this deer because he couldn't bust a rib open. Still make sure he got everything clean in the dark, and then of course rinse it all out in the garden hose. But for Justin to get this big of a deer that he called a monster, hey Big Red EDC, how you doing?
Hey, he's a monster to me.
He is a monster. I mean, I haven't got one that big. Cody's 8 point's just a little bit smaller than that one.
What?
I wish I would have brought my brother's deer head. It's 11 point.
That thing is huge. Makes it look like a baby.
Sometime I'll do a story on that because that's another funny story. But it's also a nice buck. Like I said, my brother killed that one in 1984, and I had the head, and it weighed 260 after it was field dressed. So it was a big Putnam County, Indiana deer. But anyways, Justin's proud of this deer. He wanted to do a live and tell his story of it. Now that's a hunt you wish you would have had a camera on, but on these spur of the moment hunts, you just can't throw it together and film and everything. So. But he got it accomplished, got him a deer, like I said, right before the rut was really kicking off. So Luckily, he got it in November, beginning of November, and just got the head back in March, so it was perfect time to get it to the taxidermist. And he went with a local taxidermist here in Brazil, Indiana, of Whitetail Impressions Taxidermy, and they did an excellent job on it.
About every taxidermist I called though was a year wait on it, and he said in November, 6 months right before gun season kicked off, he said that's the best he could do on it. So I was happy with that. It's better than waiting a year.
Oh yeah, that's good. One of the best turnarounds I've seen on getting a deer back. So he's proud of it. He's got it down there in his place. I made sure he brought it so that way we'd have it for this live today, because it's kind of hard to talk about a deer without a deer head. So, but I just thought it was a funny story, and he was proud, so we just wanted to share that with all of you. I remember a couple weeks ago I was talking about it. I'm also still contemplating doing the weekly question and answer live for outdoors, whether it be hunting, trapping, whatever. Just pick one topic and go over it. Oh, we can't wait for archery season either. Right now, John Klopp, hello Shepherd's Treehouse. John Klopp, we are working on trying to get a turkey. Turkey season came in here in Indiana Wednesday the 24th, and we went out yesterday. Got one fired up, but couldn't get him to come out of the timber, and we went out this morning to a different property, had two fired up, but by God, we could not get him to come in for nothing. So tomorrow's a new day, so hopefully we can get it done. I still haven't got one, so that'll be my first turkey when I do get one, or Cody, or Justin. Neither one of us. Justin's hit one with the truck.
They get one with the truck.
If that counts, but as far as actually getting one during spring archery season here in Indiana, we're a big fat zero. So that's a mission that we want to accomplish, hopefully.
They get some mushrooms though.
Yeah, he did find some mushrooms. He found a couple bags, he said. So they're popping up everywhere. Of course, right now it's got some light rain going on. Truck hit counts, Joy Stewart said. So I guess you're ahead of us by one.
I'm on the board.
And it was a hen at that.
Yeah.
Right down in front of Shakamak State Park. But hopefully we'll get one. Hey, Prudent Gal, how are you? Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. But also my goal is to hopefully one day get a nice enough buck so that way I can have one mounted. I want to have a deer on the wall. My goal's always been one to get bigger, one bigger than my brother, so I'm still working on that. I have seen some. I've got trail camera pictures of them, but as most of you know, when you're hunting, trail camera pics, when you see them in the off season, you never see them when it's hunting season.
I do got trail camera pics of him. I got two of them. I didn't bring them, but I got them.
Well, like I said, I don't ever see them during the season, or if I do, they're out of distance, so it doesn't do me any good. But I did get some nice buck pictures. But when we was up north yesterday, checked out our two mineral sites when we was up there turkey hunting. I checked them out, and the deer are just demolishing them. I put two up there, and they've got some nice holes in the ground where they've been working it. So it's good, because here within the next month, the does here in Indiana will be having their fawns. Of course, the bucks start to grow their racks back, so extra minerals are going to help them. All right, John Klopp said, both my boys have their bucks mounted. I need to get a good one too. I'm with you. Nice wing on the wall. I will turn the camera around before I end this live stream and let you see. That's a turkey that when Justin's mom moved into the place they had some turkey mounts and didn't want them, so I got one in my house, and I don't say it's mine because it's not. I couldn't hang the other one in there, so I gave it over, asked Leah's boyfriend Wyatt if he wanted it, and he said yeah, so he took it and put it up here. So this upstairs, I guess, is going to be his trophy room, and man cave, and gun room, and everything else. So it's the whole upstairs. So he's got a pretty good area. Joyce says 4 of my 7 boys have theirs. Awesome. But like I said, my goal is 1 to get turkey, 2 to get a buck worthy of mountain. But like I said, I've hunted enough and froze enough out on the deer stand that usually, as long as it's not a baby, as long as it's a 6-pointer up, and I got a shot on it, and I can make a decent shot, I'm taking it because I love to eat it. Now Justin had some summer sausage made with jalapeno. What was it? Jalapeno?
Jalapeno and cheese.
Jalapeno and cheese in it, and my goodness, that I'm getting some of that next year. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I did learn with the steaks this year, go bone in. They are 10 times better than I think. More juicier.
Yeah. I get them however the processor does, and they usually butterfly or backstrap steak, so. But, man, it was good. But I appreciate everybody hitting that thumbs up. Looks like we've got 11 people watching now, so I appreciate everybody stop by. Like I said, it's just a story, wanted to share with everybody. Shauna loves the summer sausage. She hasn't tried it with jalapeno. It's pretty good. I'd never tried it either. I'm not a, and it wasn't hot. It had a little bit of spice to it, but it was really good with some Ritz crackers. Well, I've done some pulled venison too with some barbecue, and it was amazing. But I like the steaks out on the grill, because there's nothing better than some grilled venison, marinated, just amazing, so tender. No problem, John, thank you. But like I said, deer for mounting, turkey season, want to get turkey. I want this rain to quit. My goodness, it looks like a chance of rain every day next week. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful, so we're going to take advantage of that. Thanks, Kent. Well, Prudent Gal, if you ever get the chance, and you know somebody that has some, or you get some of your own, it's lean meat, so the hamburger is not greasy like hamburger you get at the store, so it's healthier. And everybody talks about a gamey taste. There's no gamey taste to it. I've never had a deer taste gamey. I use a hamburger. I brown it up for spaghetti. I brown it up for chili. Sloppy Joes. Of course, the steaks that I do marinate. Now you don't have to, but I do. I marinate them in Mrs. Dash marinade, and it just tastes like what was that word you used? Jerky.
Yeah, it tastes like beef jerky.
Tastes just like beef jerky. Yes, John, venison's so good. Now, I've never had any gamey. Like I said, I take it. I do everything I can. I rinse it out real good. I keep the chest cavity open.
If you have the processor, put some fat in it too. It helps a lot.
Yeah, they'll put a little beef fat in your hamburger, but it is still leaner, so it's not as greasy, and it's a lot healthier for you. But somebody's got a freezer full of deer. We didn't get a deer this past year, so
I gave some to them. I didn't let them go.
yeah, we got a couple steaks, and some hamburger, and a roll of sausage. But we would have had a deer. Me, Cody. I'm gonna let Cody tell this story here real quick. It's another deer hunt story from this past season. While everybody's in here, 13 of you, 18 likes. So I appreciate everybody stopping in. This past fall, opening day of firearms, I want to say November 17th, me, Chris Kent, who's in this stream, and Cody. Now we're hunting. We get out there Yeah, Kent wants to know where his is. We're up there, and Cody's in his deer stand, the one that got stolen. Cody's in his deer stand, me and Kent's over on another area. We can still see the same area, or same field, but we're just different areas of it. Yeah, better luck this year. You're right. We'll be back at it. But we're sitting there, and we're close to that CRP, that 15-acre CRP field. This property up north, and just broke daylight, and we could hear all kind of rut activity going on. You could hear grunts. You could hear. We are in Indiana, Prudent Gal. I actually live about 15 miles east of Terre Haute, and we hunt and trap 4 counties around us. We trap all the way up Fountain County, Greene County, Hendricks County, Putnam County, Clay County. But so Cody's in his stand. He's probably, what are you, probably 100 yards away from us, 150 yards to our west, southwest. Of course, there's no chance of being in his shooting lane or nothing because there's monster hills behind me and Kent. So, anyways, me and Kent sitting there, and we hear all kind of grunting, hear bucks rubbing on trees back in there. As soon as daylight broke, 2 does come out at the other end, in front of us, but down at the other end. This big buck comes out chasing them. A smaller buck comes out chasing them. And this half rack comes out chasing them, and they go down the ravine and never see him again. And it was so fast you couldn't have got a shot off if you wanted. Pretty soon another young buck comes out, looks around. I guess he's trailing them and goes on down, tracking them. Shawnee, you're in Kentucky, that's right. Hey, one cast, one fish. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Pretty soon, a doe pops out. Now, this is probably within 30 minutes. A doe pops out. Hey, Slayer Mike, Fishing and More, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping in. So this doe's down there, and instead of going the way the others went, she's working her way up towards me and Kent. Now, Kent's never got a deer, so that was our main goal, was to get him a deer. So this doe's coming up slowly but surely. She's on high alert. She's coming up. Finally gets fairly close enough, turns broadside, and I'm filming on my phone. So I wanted to get Kent's first deer on film. I didn't have my video camera because I have not figured out how, when you open it up, there's a little bell ring. I haven't figured out how to silence that. Now, I know Trapper J Outdoors uses the same one. I just haven't figured out how to silence that. So I'm going to talk to him in the near future so I can make it silent when I open it up. But Kent's on it, fires. Somehow this doe, when we viewed it, didn't flinch. Nothing. She ducked down. He shot over her, and she took off. Healthy as could be, clean miss, as Uncle Si says in Duck Dynasty. So we wait a little while. We even get up, go around, look for blood, nothing, no sign whatsoever. So we're out here in this field. Me and Kent, Cody's still in his stand. We're coming back. Now this is 45 minutes to an hour has passed. Kent sees this doe coming across to our left, and she's coming straight across the field.
Straight towards me.
Straight towards Cody. But she's on high alert. She keeps looking back, so we knew something was coming. She's out of our range, so there's no way. Yeah, it was a horrible day. We'll still get you one, Kent. We got this fall, so don't worry. This doe, she's slow walking across this bean field. Out of the ravine pops this. I'm guessing 8-point. I couldn't tell because he was headed towards Cody. So they're slow walking. The buck's trailing her. They get to this lane, and Cody always said if he gets a deer at that grass lane, he's taking a shot. Of course, he had his 30-06 with scope and all that, and he was dialed in, ready to go. So they crossed the lane. So Kent looks at me and goes, "Why ain't he shooting?" I said, "I don't know, Pretty soon, the doe takes off running across the field. The buck goes back after her. My phone rings. He had that buck in his sights. Tell what happened. Speak up.
I was aiming right at it, and took the safety off, and went to shoot. Nothing happened. So I tried to rack another round, and when I tried to do that, it scared the deer off. later realized that the bullet didn't fire when I tried to shoot the first time. So
Hit the primer and didn't go off.
yeah, I've never had that happen before.
And we were just at the range sighting this gun
Take care, Big Red.
with the same ammo. Went off every time.
I use a Hornady American Whitetail.
So he called and said, and told me this, what he just said. So Ken had a shot and missed. Cody had a shot and his gun didn't fire. So we waited around a little while longer because I was going to shoot. I was up, my turn, so hopefully I would get one, but we didn't see no more. So we get out, we're looking around, we're just jaw-jacking around, talking about going to get something to eat. And we still had some traps to go check, so matter of fact, it was November 17th because that was when I caught my first coyote of the season there on the Urban. But he takes the bullet out, shows Kent. You can see where it had been hit by the firing pin, but just didn't go off. So Kent had him, chamber another round. Pow! Fired perfect. Just that one bullet cost him a deer. And it's always hit and miss with us. Yeah, that sucks, Shauna. He told me if Kent wouldn't have been with us, he would have cried. I felt that way too. I shot a deer with my bow, and lo and behold, miss. And you just get that sickening gut feeling like, oh my God, I know I can hit it. I've practiced. The dear God saved it. Yes, it did. Twice. One for Kent, one for Cody. I never had a shot at all last season. But we did. Now, I will say this. I've seen the most rutting action I've seen ever just by driving around checking traps, let alone deer hunting. So it was a great, even though we didn't get nothing, there's a lot of good memories, had a lot of good times, and seen a lot of things. And you always learn, no matter what you're doing, whether it's fishing, hunting, trapping, you learn every year. You learn every day. The animals are teaching you every day. So you just gotta rack it up, learn from it, and move on. So, but I appreciate everybody coming in. I think we're gonna get ready to end this stream. But before we end it, I said I would show this turkey up here on the wall. So let me do that real quick. Like I said, if you're new here, subscribe. For those of you who returned, I appreciate it. Let me show you this turkey mount. Trying to get out of the light before you don't get the glare. It was a in-flight mount, so let me get over this way. That's a pretty good gobbler. I mean, that's a good size one, so. Yeah, we don't know where, well, like I said, it's a beautiful mount. Think about getting a bow. I tell you what, if you get into bow hunting, yeah, it's a big one. You get into bow hunting, you'll be hooked. Because I'd never bow hunted until about 8 years ago. My whole life was always firearms. Yeah, it's a nice mount. It's really cool. Now mine, if you turned it that I got in the house where it's flying up, this looks like it's flying down. If you turned it, mine, where it's flying up, that's how mine looks at the house. It's not my turkey, but it's my mount that Justin brought up. Like I said, both of them were in his mom's cabin. And let's see here. They got his beard right here. It's not too bad a beard. He's a nice gobbler. I mean, they're pretty birds. And when they're in full strut, it's unbelievable how big they can get. But my goal is to get a turkey, so we're going to try to get one. It forces you to learn deer behavior. Yes, very true, John. And when you're with the firearms, when you got a 50, 60, 70-yard shot or longer and you got a scope, it's one thing. When you got a bow, especially a compound bow, you've got a 20-yard, 30-yard. I won't shoot over 30 yards. I can. I'm sighted in at 30, and I don't want to push it. That's where I feel comfortable. I've most comfortable is 20-yard shot, but it's more of a challenge getting them that close too. You've got to, everything's got to be just perfect, scent, wind, everything. So I thank you all for stopping in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for spending this rainy Saturday afternoon with us. I see we were on about 40 minutes. We had 20 likes, and right now we still got 10 people. Same to you, John. Joy, have a good day. Everybody in here have a good Saturday. Thank you, Prune Girl. I appreciate it. Hopefully we're going to do something here in the next couple weeks where we will try to do our weekly live talk, outdoors, questions and answers, just discussing a certain topic. So hopefully in 2 weeks we'll get that going where it could be something that everybody looks forward to every week. You know, we'll maybe do a half hour to hour live talk on a certain topic. Take care and get that up and running. Of course, though, when trapping season kicks in, hunting season that'll wind down. But this will be something that's just going up until hunting season or trapping season takes off this fall. Just something to hang around, talk, discuss. I mean, I don't know if that many people will be interested, but if it's something if there's enough interest, we're going to try a trial run. So leave in the comments below that you're interested, and we'll go from there. Thank you everybody for stopping in. Have a great weekend, and we will see you down the line.